The number one thing that will change the trajectory of your entire life, allow you to accomplish every goal that you've ever set out to accomplish, every dream, every objective, buy the dream house, buy the dream car, have the dream investment portfolio, is discipline. That is the number one thing that you need in your life to carry yourself through the seasons and battles that it takes to get to your destination. And in this video, I'm going to break down how discipline completely changed my life and how it can change your life as well. Starting with a few principles. See, most people don't understand what discipline actually means. What does it mean? Is it that you have to be motivated through a season? Is it that, what is it? Discipline is when you stay the course on your goal, no matter what. When you are able to discipline yourself not to go outside when it's time to go outside, when you have to discipline yourself to not spend money on that brand new thing and reinvest it back into your business, all of these things take discipline. And if you are able to discipline yourself through every single season until you get to your goal, when you get to your goal, you get to your actual goal, it will feel so fulfilling. And I'll explain it like this. When I was in my very early 20s, I disciplined myself every single day to study everything I could about how to make money online. And I found land investing. Once I found land investing, I disciplined myself to learning all those principles, all of these principles, and mastering them. And then getting to the point where I created my own principles for how I wanted to live my life. But all these things happen through discipline. If I didn't have the discipline to sit through boring seller phone calls, truth be told, talking to title companies, speaking with brokers, but I didn't have the discipline to do this. And if I just said, oh, you know what? Yeah, no, I'm going to go out. I'm going to go do this. I'm going to go party. I'm going to drink. I'm going to do that. If I didn't have the discipline, I wouldn't be where I am today. And so you have to understand that it does take a almost psycho amount of discipline that's not normal to the rest of the people around you in order to get ahead of everyone around you. And this is the thing. When I had this same discipline, many people around me were drinking, they were partying, they were eating bad, they were doing every single thing that they're not supposed to be doing. And these same people that I'm referring to are in the same situation now, if not worse, because they had no discipline. You see, when you lack discipline, life will always unravel for you. So this is the number one thing that you have to have. And when you can have discipline in your work, in your studies, in the things that you do, what starts to happen is you get this effect in which you start to enjoy what you're doing. And when you can enjoy your work, when you can start to get dopamine from work, life becomes extremely easy, because then you get pleasure out of building. You no longer seek pleasure in the cheap thrills. You no longer seek pleasure in drinking. You no longer see pleasure in partying. You no longer see pleasure in going to buy the nice car and going to do this thing. And you no longer get dopamine from that. You no longer seek pleasure in scrolling on TikTok all day. Now you seek pleasure in enjoying your work because you have been disciplined through the boring stuff. This is the thing that is fulfilling. When you can go through a season and multiple seasons of disciplining yourself and say, okay, this is my goal. This is my objective. This is what I'm going to do. And I'm going to be disciplined until I hit this goal. You see, the reason why a lot of you lack discipline is because a lot of you don't set objectives for what you want. You have no goals. And maybe you have goals. Yeah, I want to be able to make 100 grand in a year. I want to make 200 grand in a year, but you don't know why. You see, when you have no justification behind your goal, it means nothing. It means absolutely nothing. Why do you want to do what you want to do? For me, my goal is to reach multiple 9 figures liquid within the next 10 years. Why do I want to do that? Because I want to make sure that my child is taken care of for the rest of her life, so that when I'm in my early 30s, I can be completely retired, pretty much off the internet, and just taking care of my family. That is my goal. So that's what I'm doing. And could I do that today? Yes. But I see opportunity here where I've never seen opportunity before. And you know where that has me? That has me disciplined. That has me focused. That has me wanting to help as many people as I possibly can for as long as I possibly can until I decide I don't want to do this anymore. So you have to have a justification for your goal. You need to have a why for your goal. If you don't have these things, then your goal is just absolutely meaningless and you won't have the discipline to execute on your goal. And therefore, you will never enjoy the work. You will never get dopamine from work, which will make your work that much harder. So every time you go to work, every time it's time to work, it feels like work, right? You also have to have the discipline, maybe in your job, maybe you want more freedom, maybe you want more cash flow. This is a situation for many people. It is very difficult for you to transition your mind frame from that of someone who's been working a job their entire life to someone who now runs an online business and their cash comes from their work. You no longer get paid by the hour. But if you discipline yourself, you can make your hourly pay thousands and thousands of dollars an hour. I disciplined myself in my early 20s so that now at 25, if I was to actually put my hourly pay on like an hourly, it would be thousands of dollars an hour. But I disciplined myself that way. If I didn't discipline myself that way, then I would not be here. But for you, someone that is, let's say you just want to make an extra $10,000 a month. You say you're working your job, you want to make an extra $10,000 a month. Okay. Great. Well, what do you need to do to get there? You need to learn a skill that can consistently make you an extra $10,000 a month or $30,000 a quarter. What is $10,000 a month? To me, $10,000 a month is actually just 4 land deals a year. If you do 4 land deals a year at $30,000 in profit, you now have hit $120,000 in a year, which is your goal, $10,000 a month. How do you get there? You get there by having the discipline to learn it, because something like land investing is extremely simple to learn, but it takes discipline to follow up. It takes discipline to build processes. It takes discipline to consistently send your marketing. It takes discipline to talk to sellers. It takes discipline to learn how to actually sell a property on the market. So you see now, everything that you want to do, it all starts from discipline. If you do not have the discipline to carry yourself through to your goal, you'll never enjoy your work. You'll never hit your $10,000, $20,000, $30,000, $40,000 a month, and your life will continue to stay stagnant. So you see, when you're thinking about taking that vacation, when you're thinking about buying that new car, when you're thinking about buying those new shoes, you have to have discipline to not do it. Ask yourself the question, should I delay this gratification in order to invest back in myself? Should I delay this gratification to learn a few extra skills that might get me there? Should I delay this gratification and hire someone that's going to help me get there faster? These are things that I've done throughout my entire life. I've spent 6 figures on coaching, mentorships. Why? Because I want to figure out if I can get to my destination faster from someone who's already in that exact spot. And if you need help getting to where you want to go faster, getting to a multiple 6-figure profit land investing business in 2025, feel free to book in a strategy call below and I'd be happy to help. So on those days where you're tired, on those days where you're just like, why am I not where I want to be? Why do I feel like I'm meant for more? Always check your discipline. Always ask yourself if you've done every single thing that you needed to do that day to get to your goal, and remember your goals and make sure your goals are good enough to drive you through the difficult times, to drive you through the times where you want to quit, to drive you through when everything seems like it's going to explode. Make sure to like, subscribe, and comment if you learn anything on the video, and I'll see you guys in the next video.